But yeah, Norm, being the Christian that you are, all I wish is that you go to hell. Let me finish, because Evan, as everyone knows, is for boring people, okay?
But humor is not for you. There is a place to go if you don't like humor. No, you shouldn't go to hell. That's for funny people. You're not gonna ruin our time in hell too? How dare you, bitch!
I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news and make you sadder than you were 10 seconds ago when you didn't see my thumbnail, but unfortunately, Norm Macdonald, you know, the guy who was a SNL host back when SNL was actually good.
Your Honor, I'd like to submit as evidence Wario's Super Mario Wiki fan page.
People are so mean online.
Has unfortunately passed away a few hours ago as I'm recording this from a bitch called cancer. And honestly, since we have so many stripper names now, no, it's not a name of a stripper. I think everyone would like to spend their last days, you know, drowned by women. I guess that would be a really great cause of death to, you know, a lot of men in this world. But unfortunately, it is still a disease that is incredibly powerful. But in all seriousness now, as you know, I like to always put some humor, no matter how sad something is. Because I guess that's a comedian way, really. In a way to honor Norm Macdonald, you should laugh as much as you can. But I would actually, what I would actually like to address in this video specifically is how you start realizing that, you know, comedians like him, what we have, like Dave Chapelle, Bill Burr, well, those men are not necessarily the youngest, right? And when you pick up the biggest in the game, it's usually like that, right? It takes some time to get some sort of, I guess, traction. I can't help but feel like our sense of comedy that we have today is starting to fade away a little bit. And now I know there's a lot of young comedians out there. Andrew Schultz, in my case, being the best that we have right now, considering his age. But you look back and you remember when Dave Chapelle, he did change his style of comedy, but he was more even non-2021, let's call it that. Back then, it was especially like that when he was young, very controversial. But even when he was like 19, we knew about him. And again, I don't think comedy itself is something that is too big to just end after millions of years and shit, even though I would say that caveman humor must not be that great. We certainly evolved in that regard, but I would say that the comedy we have right now is quite diverse. Whatever you like, you can hear about it. But unfortunately, the type that you and me enjoy might actually disappear. And if you think that I'm exaggerating, let me illustrate an actual example here. And let's watch, also in his honor, I guess, one specific clip from Norm Macdonald that I find it interesting to include in my argumentation for this video.
Like, I'm a Christian, right? I
didn't know that. Are you a Christian?
Yes.
Do you watch the gladiators and things like that?
What the fuck does that mean?
Christians.
No, I just go to fucking military funerals and go fucking No. No,
You haven't changed one bit, no.
No,
You really haven't.
No.
So you might think, what's the problem there? And we've seen these jokes all the time and stuff like that. What's the problem? Where did comedy get affected? Well, this fucking thing happened. Right? We got so used to this too quickly. All of a sudden, this is pretty much a norm. Every time I hear something that I don't even know if it's dangerous or not, if there's a word that I should or should not say, I'll just by safety put it. Otherwise, 100% of the video gone. If you don't get struck with a community guideline, by the way, violation. Hell, I don't even know if I can say that word. Can I say that? I don't even know what to say anymore. And I think that we'll have at least a percentage of people watching this video that goes like, oh, well, it's clear it's kind of very offensive and, well, he's not allowed to say that. And to me, that is extremely ironic, considering that this joke is regarding one of the biggest problems that this protected group that YouTube likes to highlight is actually facing, which is religious Christian nutjobs who have this kind of mindset. I think that is quite frustrating, but also funny in itself, how stupid people are when considering comedy in general. That somehow making jokes about the thing that happens in the world today, even though you're not defending, quite honestly, you're actually attacking the thing that you would say it's very offensive towards people. Apparently is offensive. Maybe you are part of the group that understands that this joke is just a funny thing and the way that you should take comedy is always with a laugh on your face. But believe me, again, there might be some people watching this video that fall onto that category. And I don't judge you. I guess like feeling offended is absolutely normal. The thing that people need to start learning to do, I guess, is to actually be offended but recognize it's a you problem, not everyone else's. Norm Macdonald has been doing this shit for fucking decades. And holy boy was he in a lot of controversy, always involved with it. And again, even though I don't think that all of a sudden this world is going to go to shit just because he passed away, unfortunately, I feel like we're starting to go down on a spiral that we really can't get out of. It starts with YouTube, as the example that I was just showing you before. And honestly, YouTube, well, it's entitled to do that. It's a private company. But it doesn't really mean that we are all agreeing with this kind of shit. Obviously, a lot of people would understand that, or a lot of people draw this funny situation that Die Hard on Christmas, every fucking TV plays that shit. A guy saying fuck, blood, killing everyone in the building, no problem. But as soon as you start like, oh, you can't say that shit in the video just because it might. That's a problem. Might be detrimental. I really don't understand how today's paradigm works, really. I'm confused. And if someone with 22 years of age is confused about this shit, I cannot even imagine what people from older generations are thinking. Where are we actually heading? Unfortunately, 2021, when it comes to comedy and everything else, honestly, we're going everywhere that is not important. The one path that we should be taking as a group, we're not taking it. We got to a point where everything is offensive and nothing is productive or funny. Because again, if the whole thing of like it might be offensive to someone applies, then again, even breathing is gonna be offensive to someone, believe me on that. Someone wearing a fucking mask, Darth Vader bitch, he's gonna have a problem with this joke, for example. So Norm Macdonald, alright, to me, one of the greatest that we ever had, is out of the game, right? Again, right, we can't be all negative, okay? And even though I'm being all pessimist about this, right, obviously there's a way out. And like I said, Andrew Schulz represents, for example, a young generation of it. But even Andrew Schulz, when it comes to like his stand-up is amazing, crowd work, all that. But even this type of comedy is already a little bit different. The only difference is he can actually evolve, and he is the living proof that we can evolve on the way that we present comedy, but still say with the same premise and basically the same nature. And I would really like that. I would really like for the future comedians to always keep this in mind and keep the nature intact, no matter how much you change your presentation. Is it a 5-minute video? Is it like you're not even doing stand-up? It's just like recording? I don't care, but please keep it alive, because so far we already have YouTube being very incredibly difficult to work with when it comes with comedy. And well, if you really like Norm Macdonald or any past comedian like Patrice O'Neill, for example, I think that it would be in your best interest. I'm not talking about fighting as if we're some sort of like SJW idiots, right? But at least consider the things that are happening around you and start raising some questions. Is this YouTube thing really that harmless, or is this gonna get worse? Right? Because when we complain, or at least when we open our mouths, is actually when YouTube goes like, okay, maybe we can allow more than just 2 fucks per video, right? Right now it's not that bad, but we were going down a spiral at least maybe 1 year, and this is on YouTube, the thing that I know, like the territory that I know. Hey, you know what? I think that Norm Macdonald really left a good impression on today's comedian. So obviously now we have to wait for someone to peak, right? But if you are a new comedian, okay, just please try to keep this tradition alive of comedy, which is to not be offensive, to not be controversial, but rather to say what people laugh, no matter how many people think it's fucked up, because in the end of the day, it's all about the brain. There's nothing about rationalizing comedy sometimes, like the dumbest shit ever, Family Guy. But a lot of people love Family Guy because it was that goddamn dumb. Shit, even SJWs have a place, their comedy has a place. But I have a problem when someone tries to step in, basically, and stop it. I don't want that. But yeah, Norm, being the Christian that you are, all I wish is that you go to hell. Let me finish, because Evan, as everyone knows, is for boring people, okay?
But humor is not for you. There is a place to go if you don't like humor. No, you shouldn't go to hell. That's for funny people. You're not gonna ruin our time in hell too? How dare you, bitch!
Everyone knows clouds don't exist. Now fire, well, I see it basically every day. I mean, especially when I burn my lunches and dinners. But, you know, I'm more keen to believe that hell exists, alright? It seems like a fun place, open bar, shit like that. That's my vision, and I hope that's what it is, okay? But regardless, I will hope he went out peacefully, right? And we have other comedians. Do show support for the little ones, because in the future, they might be the ones who save our current, the comedy that we like. So thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you like this style of videos, right? A like would also be very appreciated, and I'll see you next time.